Okay, so here we're back at the Fiat Punto head gasket tear down. What I've done so far is I've took the catalytic converter off, 8 bolts on that one, plenty of penetrating fluid, stuff like that. Comes off quite easy, to be honest. There's 2 gaskets on it. You've got the air intake as well. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts there. They came off quite easy as well, so just penetrating fluid and a bit of patience and you should be okay, and just push it straight back like that. You have to take the coolant sensor out as well because that's attached to the inlet, so once that's out it should freely come away. So now we're starting to clear out the engine bay a little bit, and the next thing to do, we're going to take off this valve cover, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, I think that's about it really. 4 10mm bolts, so we'll take that off. Done a video on this, check out my channel. It's a Sealy ratchet wrench, 14.4 volt battery. It's a good bit of kit, great for the DIY if you haven't got power air tools or anything like that. It's lasts quite a couple of hours really on a good charge, so it's worth getting one of these. Takes the pain out of taking these nuts and bolts off. And basically what you do, you just lift it off. Comes with a gasket. When you rebuild, replace it, they're about 5-6 quid, not very expensive at all. And that should be okay. Inside the end valve, I mean, it looks okay inside. So I think if we've got a head gasket problems, and it's probably in its infancy. We've got 10 head bolts in there as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The next thing we do, we're going to take the engine mount off and take off the timing belt. But that's how you take off the valve cover anyway. Very, very simple. So there's no reason why you shouldn't change. Even if there's nothing wrong with it, change these gaskets every now and then. They do have a habit to leak. So the next part on this, we've got to remove the engine mount, because obviously we've got to get to the tensioner for the timing belt, and obviously if you're going to do a head gasket job, best thing to do is change some of this stuff as you go. I mean, if you're going to take off the timing belt, it's always best to change it, and vary other things as well as you're going in, because it's the best time to do it and it's cheaper for labour. So we're going to take, undo these bolts, 3 14mm bolts, and 3, no, they're, what are they, 18mm bolts, and 3 15mm bolts. So just get the impact. Obviously when you're doing this as well, you need to jack the engine up I've got a jack under there as well, 2-ton jack, just taking the weight of the engine, so I can take these off. Obviously keep all your nuts and bolts in the same place, make sure you know, because obviously some of this stuff is quite difficult to get hold of. Might have to jack the engine up a bit just to take the weight a bit more, but there we go. Ah, there you go. So it comes off like that. Keep it together, and then there's 1, 2, 3. I think they're 15s as well. Yeah, 15s. You've got to take that out as well. So I'll take that off, and then I think we'll probably be ready to take the tension off the belt. Right, so basically what I've done now is took everything away. Obviously took the cat intake, took the coolant sensor off, I've took the thermostat off on the other side, 2 10mm bolts, very easy, just pull it away. Wiring looms off, took the timing belt off as well. So basically it's still in there. I mean, if I'm going to repair it, I'm going to change it, I'm going to reset the timing, I'm going to do everything like that, so don't be all over me for that. Timing belt's really old anyway. It's got a few cracks in it. I don't think it's been changed for a long time. So if I'm going to repair it, that'll get done as well. They're quite cheap from what I can gather, which means taking off their the crank pulley, belt, various other things down there, sensors. But obviously keep in mind with your timing as well, make sure everything's timed before you put your timing belt back on. And this is what I've left with really. So basically I've got to get 10 head bolts out and then take it off and see what we've got. Inspect their gasket and see what failures are, where it is, and what we're going to do next. So hopefully this has been quite interesting for you. Bit of a tear down of an engine, getting hands dirty. So not too sure what I'm going to do with it, where we're going to repair it. But you know what, it's interesting doing this sort of stuff, I enjoy it anyway. So if I don't repair it, I'm going to scrap it. A lot of good parts in here. So I'll let you know in part 3 where what the actual outcome of the car is. Thanks for watching.